Listen very carefully for the next few minutes, because what I'm about to share could be the difference between a secure retirement and losing thousands of dollars from your bank account. It's a warning about a simple, everyday habit that has become a financial predator's #1 tool. Just last month, I was sitting across from a client, a wonderful 82-year-old woman named Carol. For 50 years, she managed her family's finances flawlessly. She balanced every statement to the penny and took pride in her diligence. But she came to me in tears, her hands trembling as she held a cashed check for $2,500. The story she told me is one I hear far too often. A man had shown up at her door, pointing to a few shingles on her roof and warning her about a critical roof issue that needed an immediate deposit to prevent catastrophic leaks. The man was polite, even charming. His truck looked professional, and he handed her an invoice with a company logo on it. Fearing damage to the home she had lived in for half a century, she did what she had always done in these situations. She wrote a check. The man thanked her, said his crew would be back the next morning, and drove away. He and her money disappeared. Here's the heartbreaking part, the part that makes my blood boil. A real licensed roofer later confirmed that her roof was perfectly fine. There was no critical issue. There were no leaks. Carol was the victim of a high-pressure scam designed to exploit her sense of responsibility and fear. And the check she wrote wasn't just a payment, it was a key. It was a single sheet of paper that gave a complete stranger her full name, her home address, her bank's name, her routing number, and her account number. Everything needed to drain her savings was right there, written in her own hand. This video is for every senior who has ever felt that knot of anxiety from a pushy salesperson. It's for anyone who has ever stared at a confusing bill or answered an urgent-sounding phone call and felt a wave of pressure to just make the problem go away. It's for every person who has ever thought, I should just pay this to get them off my back. What scammers, predatory companies, and even some aggressive debt collectors are counting on is that you'll rely on old habits. They hope that the familiar physical act of writing a check will override your intuition. They know that once that check is in their hands and the money is out of your account, their job is done and your fight has just begun. But today, you have an advocate. My name is Attorney's Name, and for over a decade, I've specialized in financial protection for seniors. I've sat at kitchen tables just like yours, and I've seen firsthand how these traps are set, and more importantly, how you can avoid them. In the next 20 minutes, I am going to expose the 3 hidden dangers of using personal checks in today's world. These aren't just minor risks, they are active, growing threats to your savings. But I won't leave you with just the problems. I will then give you 4 simple, secure alternatives that put a digital shield around your money, giving you peace of mind. And please make sure you stay for the 3rd danger. It's a crime called check washing, and it's exploding across the country. From what I see in my practice, it is costing seniors more money, more frequently, than any other check-related fraud right now. So grab a pen and paper. If any of this sounds familiar, if you've ever had a close call, let me know in the comments below. Your story could validate someone else's experience and show them they are not alone. And if you believe this is important information, hit that like button right now so this vital warning can reach more people who need to hear it. All right, let's dive into the first hidden danger. I call it the information giveaway. Think about a personal check for a moment. It's a simple piece of paper, something you've probably used thousands of times. But in the hands of a criminal, it is a treasure map leading directly to your life savings. Let's break it down. Right there at the top, you have your full legal name and your complete home address. At the bottom, you have your bank's name, your bank's routing number, and most critically, your personal account number. And to top it all off, you provide a perfect, verifiable copy of your signature. You have just handed a stranger every single piece of information they need to impersonate you and access your money. With this data, a scammer doesn't even need to use your original check. They can go online and order a fresh book of counterfeit checks with your name and account information, then start writing them all over town. Or, even more easily, they can use your routing and account number to set up electronic withdrawals known as ACH debits. Suddenly, your account is being drained by subscriptions and payments you never authorized, often in small, hard-to-notice amounts that add up over time. This information is also a commodity. Scammers sell lists of valid names, addresses, and bank account numbers on the dark web to other criminals who specialize in identity theft. For the price of a cup of coffee, your entire financial identity can be sold to the highest bidder. I had a client, a gentleman named Robert, who learned this the hard way. He hired a new landscaping crew that was going door to door in his neighborhood. They did a good job, and he paid them with a check for $150. A week later, he noticed a charge for $19.95 from a video streaming service he'd never heard of. Then another for $29.99 from an online gaming company. He was confused, but assumed his wife had signed up for something. But when a third charge appeared for a credit monitoring service, he knew something was wrong. We traced it back. The landscaping operation was a front. Their primary business wasn't cutting grass, it was collecting and selling the banking information of their clients. Robert spent months closing his account, disputing charges, and cleaning up the mess, all from one single check. This brings us to the second hidden danger, which is more psychological. The checkbook has become a high-pressure compliance tool. Scammers and aggressive salespeople love checks for a specific reason. The physical act of writing one makes you feel committed. It feels final. In a high-pressure situation like with Carol and the fake roofer, writing a check is a way to end the uncomfortable confrontation. The pushy person at your door, the intimidating debt collector on the phone, or even the overly persistent charity solicitor. They all know this. They create a sense of urgency and anxiety, and the checkbook becomes the release valve. You write it just to make them go away. You feel a moment of relief, but what you've actually done is given in to their pressure without giving yourself time to think. They are counting on you to feel that once the check is written, the deal is done. But I am here to tell you that is often not the case. The law is on your side. In the United States, there is a federal regulation called the FTC's cooling off rule. This rule gives you 3 business days to cancel most purchases over $25 that are made in your home or at a location that is not the seller's permanent place of business. This applies directly to those door-to-door contractors, the high-pressure salespeople, and many other situations. Writing a check does not waive this right. You can stop payment on that check and send a written cancellation notice. They are legally obligated to honor it. They just hope you don't know your rights They want you to believe that your signature on that check is an unbreakable contract. It is not. Now, we must discuss the third danger, the one I urged you to stay for. It is the most direct, the most brazen, and it's growing at an alarming rate. It's called check washing. This isn't about stealing your information for later use. This is about stealing your money right now, directly from a check you've already written. The process is terrifyingly simple. Thieves drive through neighborhoods targeting unsecured residential mailboxes, the kind with the little red flag. They're looking for outgoing mail, specifically envelopes that look like they contain bill payments to your utility company, your credit card, or your mortgage. Once they have your envelope, they take it and use common household chemicals, like acetone, the main ingredient in nail polish remover, to literally erase the ink from the pay to the order of line and the amount. Your signature, written in a different type of ink, often remains perfectly intact. Then they simply rewrite the check. The $35 payment to the water company becomes a $3,500 check made out to a fake name or an accomplice. They then deposit it, often using a mobile banking app on their phone, so they never have to step foot in a bank. The money is transferred to another account and withdrawn from an ATM before you, or even your bank, have any idea what has happened. By the time you get your bank statement and see a massive withdrawal you don't recognize, the thieves and your money are long gone. Fighting this is an absolute nightmare. The bank's initial position may be that the check cleared with your valid signature, making you responsible. Proving that you wrote a check for $35 and not $3,500 can be an uphill, stressful, and time-consuming battle. It requires police reports, fraud affidavits, and a lot of persistence. While you're fighting to get your money back, your account is short, and other legitimate payments may start to bounce, causing a cascade of financial problems. This single act, born from simply placing a check in your own mailbox, can destabilize your entire financial life. These three dangers, the information giveaway, the high-pressure compliance tool, and the menace of check washing, have transformed the simple act of writing a check from a routine task into a significant financial risk. But the good news is you don't have to be vulnerable. There are simple, powerful ways to protect yourself. So, let's build a fortress around your finances starting right now. The first and most powerful tool for this is likely already in your wallet, the credit card. I call this the credit card shield, and it is, without a doubt, the single best protection you have against fraud. The reason is rooted in federal law, specifically the Fair Credit Billing Act. This law provides a powerful safety net. It states that your liability for unauthorized charges is capped at just $50. And in practice, nearly every major credit card company, Visa, MasterCard, American Express, Discover, has a zero liability policy. This means if a fraudulent charge appears on your statement, you report it, the company investigates, and you are not responsible for a single penny. Now, contrast that with a fraudulent check. If a washed check for $3,500 clears your bank account, your money is gone. It has been physically removed from your account. You then have to begin the long, stressful fight to prove fraud and get it back. With a credit card, the fraudulent charge is simply removed from your bill while the company handles the fight. The money never leaves your possession. The burden of proof is on them, not on you. I know what some of you might be thinking. I don't like credit cards. I don't want to go into debt. That is a wise and responsible way to think. But I want you to reframe how you see this tool. Don't think of it as a loan. Think of it as a payment method. Use it for your everyday purchases, gas, groceries, prescriptions, and then pay the balance in full each and every month from your checking account. You'll never pay a dime in interest, and you'll gain an ironclad layer of protection that a checkbook can never offer. The second alternative is perfect for paying your regular bills, and it is the most secure way to send a payment that resembles a traditional check. It's your own bank's online bill pay service. When you log into your bank's website and set up a payment to your power company, for example, something very important happens behind the scenes. You are not sending a check from your personal checkbook. The bank sends the check. It's drawn on their own corporate account, not yours. Your name is on it, but your personal account number, your routing number, and your home address are not printed on the check that goes to the payee. This completely breaks the information chain. A thief who steals that payment from the mail can't use it to create counterfeit checks or set up electronic debits because your critical information isn't there. This one small change eliminates the risk of both the information giveaway and check washing in one step. If you're not comfortable with technology or unsure how to set this up, please don't let that stop you. Call your bank, or even better, walk into your local branch. They have staff whose entire job is to help customers like you get started with these services. They will be happy to sit down and walk you through it, step by step. Our third safe alternative is direct debit, also known as automatic withdrawal. This can be very convenient for fixed recurring bills that you trust completely. But I must give you a critical warning here. This method should only be used for legitimate, long-standing, and highly reputable companies. We're talking about your mortgage lender, your main utility company, or your major insurance provider. These are established businesses with secure systems. You should never, ever give direct debit authorization to a contractor who shows up at your door, a company you're using for a one-time service, or anyone who calls you on the phone demanding payment. Giving someone direct access to your bank account is a matter of extreme trust, and it should be reserved for only the most stable and proven companies you have a long-term relationship with. Finally, what about those large one-time payments where a physical form of payment is required? Perhaps you're buying a used car from a private seller or putting down a security deposit on a rental property. In these cases, where a personal check seems like the only option, you should use a cashier's check or a money order. You can get these from your bank or the local post office. They work much like your bank's online bill pay system. The funds are drawn on the bank's or the post office's funds, not your personal account. Your sensitive banking information is kept private, completely shielded from the person you are paying. It provides a secure, traceable payment that is as good as cash, but without handing over the keys to your financial kingdom. It achieves the goal of the payment without creating any of the risks. The world has changed in ways we could have never predicted. The checkbook, which for generations was a symbol of financial stability and personal responsibility, has unfortunately become a source of profound vulnerability. This isn't about being behind the times or not understanding technology. It's about recognizing that criminals have adapted, and so must we to protect the money we've worked our entire lives to save. The fundamental goal is to put layers of protection between your hard-earned savings and those who would try to take it. Using a credit card for its fraud protection, your bank's secure bill, pay service, or a cashier's check for a large transaction, these actions create a buffer. They build a wall. Your personal check, however, does the exact opposite. It hands them the keys to the kingdom, neatly printed with a bow on top. So here is your homework today. I don't want you to feel overwhelmed. Just pick one. Pick one of these safer methods and commit to using it for your very next payment. Maybe it's logging into your bank's website to pay the electric bill, or perhaps it's switching your monthly insurance payment over to a credit card. Small, consistent steps are what build secure financial habits that last a lifetime. If you found this information valuable, if it opened your eyes to a risk you hadn't considered, please click the like button. It does more than you know. It tells the system that this is an important message, helping to show this video to more seniors who need this protection. Share this video with a friend, a sibling, or post it in a community group you belong to. You could be the one who saves someone from becoming the next Carol, preventing immense stress and financial loss. And finally, subscribe for more practical, no-nonsense advice on safeguarding your finances in the modern world. In the comments below, I'd love to hear from you. Tell me one thing you learned today, or one change you plan to make. Reading your comments and seeing you take these steps not only encourages me, but it helps everyone here feel less alone in this fight. Thank you for spending this time with me. Remember, you are in control of your financial safety. You have the power and the right to protect what is yours. Stay vigilant, stay informed, and I'll see you in the next video.